Hey guys, today we're going to be tying kind of a jig version of the squirmy worm. It's sort of a Euro style squirmy worm, and in the vise we have a Hanak competition hook. It is an H450BL in a size 10, and we have a 5/32 tungsten slotted bead to match that. I've got a few wraps of lead-free wire on here, and I like to mash those down with my forceps so that they'll fit in that little slot behind the tungsten bead. And I like to put some super glue on there just to kind of lock those in place. Start your thread on the hook shank right behind those wire wraps. Here I'm using fluorescent fire orange 70 denier ultra thread. Alright, so the first thing you want to do here is build up a nice taper from those wire wraps down to your hook shank. And some people like to use 140 denier to do this, but we're just going to be using 70 denier all the way. But feel free to use 140. Alright, so our next ingredient is going to be our actual squirmy wormy material. This can be tricky to tie in, but I find that if you stretch it, like I'm doing here, it helps you to tie that in without cutting it. So just clip it into your materials clip and stretch that a good bit, and that really helps to tie that material in. Wrap back to the bend of the hook, covering over the squirmy wormy material, and then you're going to wrap all the way back up, and then wrap down, covering that squirmy wormy material over and bringing it back to where you have the tail tied in. Alright, now if you have a rotary vise, throw a half hitch or two in there, and then set up your bobbin cradle. If you don't, it's no big deal, but basically our next step is to wrap that squirmy wormy material around over that thread, and that orange thread kind of gives a nice little accent, and it kind of shines through under that squirmy wormy material. Alright, so you're going to give some good tension, good even tension, and then you're going to wrap that squirmy wormy material over those orange thread wraps. Now remove your bobbin from the cradle and tie off that squirmy wormy material. Alright, so just cut off that end of that squirmy wormy material, and then you're gonna give a few wraps here. And you could finish the fly right here, but I like to add a little bit of a kind of a veil or just a little bit of dubbing, and I'm going to be using Hareline ice dub, and they call this color peacock. Okay, so now you're going to split your tying thread, and I like to run it across my fingers to kind of smoothen it out and spread it out so I can split it easily. And then you're going to put a small clump of this ice dubbing. You really don't need a lot, just a small clump will do it, and then you're going to spin your tying thread to to trap that dubbing inside. Alright, now you're going to wrap that dubbing right behind the bead, and then you're going to finish this fly off with a nice little hotspot collar. And I like to do 2 whip finishes when I can, and it gives you the opportunity to have a little more durability in there, and maybe not put head cement on these. And one thing I will warn you about is if you put nail polish on these, if you usually use nail polish, and really if you put any kind of head cement or glue on these, they will like fall apart. The squirmy wormy material, at least some of them, will fall apart when you put glue on them. Just be aware of that. Some head cements I don't believe will deteriorate them, but I have had it happen, and it is definitely not fun. Alright guys, and there you have it, the squirmy wormy. If you liked that video, please consider subscribing and liking this video. And if you'd like to see more content like this, head over to my channel. It is Fishbite Media. And again guys, thank you so much for watching, and there you have it, a Euro style squirmy worm.